You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag.
You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yes! What's happening? Yeah. With the deal, thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a free-for-all Friday, and on Fridays, we love to bring it back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, it is a free-for-all Friday. Thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. And oh boy, there's a lot we got to get into today. June 26, 2015. And if you're new to the show, man, thank you for joining me. You have entered the realm of the realest, trillest, most unfiltered sports talk show in America. Ain't no puppetry going on around here. There ain't no puppetry going on around here. And for new listeners, man, I always refer to my good friends at ESPN as the Puppet Factory. There's no puppetry going on around here. You hear real takes. You hear real opinions from your boy on the Doug Stewart Show, man. So thank you so much for joining me. And the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Shouts out to everybody already in the chat room. Shouts out to you all. Thank you. I nub new. And also a special shout out to everybody following your boy on Periscope. I still got the Periscope up right now. I'll keep it up for a little while longer, and then I'll shut it down at some point. Maybe I'll bring it back a little bit later. So most of the time I shut it down when we get into the first segment. But today I said, you know what, I'll keep it up, man, and let the people see what goes on kind of behind the scenes when we start the show. So follow me on Periscope. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. And all at the Doug Stewart Show, okay? That's the handle on all different social media platforms, all right? The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So, obviously, last night, the NBA draft, very eventful. So, we're going to talk draft. We're going to talk Knicks. The New York Knicks. Shame on the New York Knicks. And you see the title of the show. The title says, Shame, 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 New York Knicks. Shut up, you kids! Shut up. Even though I don't like the New York Knicks, you got to be quiet now. We got these kids back in here today on like a little field trip, a little summer field trip. And so they always come in here and showing their ass. Shut up with all of that. Shut up. Don't you boo the host. Shut up. Shut up, kids. All right, so we're going to talk about the Knicks today. And the fact that they absolutely suck, and I'm pointing 2 thumbs down. The Knicks suck. We're also going to talk about the Lakers. I'm not sure about what they did last night. We'll get into all of that. The Atlanta Hawks, Falcons trying to make a big free agent signing. We will get into that today as well. And also we got the real story on what's going on with Puff Daddy. Shut up, you kids. You don't know anything about Puff. So that whole story about what went down with Puffy and his son Justin at UCLA, we're going to get into that as well. We got your Boyle Peanuts Award today. That's right. And for new listeners, what the Boyle Peanuts Award is, it's a long story in its origin. But the Boyle Peanuts are basically the Buster of the Week on the Doug Stewart Show. And your nominees for this week's Boyle Peanuts Award are Mike and Mike. Another long story behind that, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. In effect, they stole one of my, I don't even call it a bit. They stole something that I do because it's not really a bit. There's nothing funny about it. I sang on this show. I sing. And Mike and Mike did some type of karaoke thing this week, man, and clearly they stole it from me. Thank you, kids. Thank you. Clearly they stole it from me, and that's biting. And where I come from, you don't be a blatant biter like that. You might can find an idea about something to do on your little show or whatever, but just don't be a blatant biter. And that's in effect what they did. So they've been nominated. Puffy for fighting coaches. I'm not mad at him for defending his son, but you probably put your son in a worse position, and you're a grown-ass man. But there's more details on that. I'm kind of leaning on the side of Puff, so I doubt he's going to win the Boyle Peanuts Award. Phil Jackson's nominated for what he did last night in this draft. We'll get into that in a second. And our own Tree Taylor has been nominated as well. Damn, Tree. Kid's mad at you already this morning. So those are our nominees for the Boyle Peanuts Award. All right, so what everybody in America is talking about is this NBA draft and what the New York Knicks did last night. Now, let me just say this. Let me just say this. It couldn't have happened. All right, once again, it could not have happened to a worse team, and we're talking about the New York Knicks. It couldn't have happened to a worse team. The New York Knicks go out, and they draft Kristaps, I believe that's the way you pronounce the dude's name, Porzingis. Now, I've been talking about this kid all week because if you look at the video, he looks like the next coming of, I don't know, Michael Jordan and Dirk Nowitzki all rolled up into one. But here's the problem. I went and I Googled foreign NBA players bust or European NBA players and bust. And I came up with a list that's so unbelievably bad and the players that were drafted so unbelievably high that absolutely did nothing in the NBA. This is why there's major concern for this pick that the New York Knicks made last night. I mean, I'm looking at this list and half of the damn names I can't even pronounce them or whatever. You know about the Andrew Bargnanis of the world. You know about the Darko Milicics of the world. But I mean, I'm looking at this list, man, and there's a bunch of guys that were drafted like in the top 10 over the last 10 years that didn't play really at all, that did absolutely nothing in the NBA. They may have stuck around for 2 or 3 years, sparingly played a couple of games here and there, and then they had to take their ass back home to wherever the hell they came from. So that's why it's so risky. And with the New York Knicks in the position that they're in and being one of the worst teams in basketball and have been one of the worst teams historically ever since I've been, an adult, and Phil Jackson coming in making all these grandiose promises, it makes you scratch your head. It does. Wait a minute. No, that's not what we want. It makes you scratch your head. And last night was no different. And I don't know. I used to rail on the fact that these teams used to take these foreign players back in the day because obviously the style of basketball that they play is not the same as it is in the NBA. It's just not. It's very different. And they go ahead and they take this kid who, once again, Phil Jackson might end up making us all look stupid, and he may have taken Dirk Nowitzki, but history shows that that's not the case. That's what history has shown us, that that's not going to be the case. History has shown us that this cat is going to be out of the league in 4 or 5 years, and we're going to forget all about him. I'm looking at these guys on this list that I pulled up, man, and these guys are horrible. These are horrible. So, and part of me feels for you if you're a New York Knicks fan, because I want all sports fans to enjoy some type of success. But for the New York Knicks, a team that I rail against that I think gets too much credit and really hasn't done any damn thing since the early 70s, I think this is absolutely perfect, man. I think it's absolutely perfect. Shame on you, New York Knicks. Once again, I'm not hedging my bet in this or anything like that. The kid might end up being fantastic. The point is that history has shown us that he's not going to be. That he is going to suck. Carmelo's going to have another year where they win 16, 17 ball games. Bottom line is, man, I think those players from across the water, as we put it, with the Two Live Stews, they just play a different brand of basketball. The physicalness of the NBA and the way we play basketball over here, and for most of these people that play in the league, these kids that come up playing basketball in this country, it's more physical. It's more rough and tough. You go to the lane, and it's not even as bad as it used to be, or as good as it used to be in my case, and the way I think about it. It's not even as rough as it used to be 15, 20, 25 years ago. It's not as physical, but it's still a physical way we play the game, man, and it's not conducive for these cats from across the water. And y'all took a gamble as bad as y'all were, and I'm talking to y'all New York Knicks fans, and Vern from Jersey, and Jungle Brother. I'm talking to all of y'all. Y'all took a risk. Y'all took a huge-ass risk in the NBA draft, knowing that you needed a sure thing, and you took Kristaps Porzingis. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. Shame on you. Couldn't happen to a better team or a worse team, depending on how you look at it. So I want to get your thoughts all day long on the NBA draft. Hey, follow the show on Spreaker.com and then hit the little chat button and leave me your take on whatever we're talking about. We have the greatest sports chat room in the world right here on the Doug Stewart Show. So what I'm going to do today, you're going to propel the show in earnest. I'm going to read your comments and kind of respond to your comments, and that'll kind of get us into conversation about everything that happened last night in the NBA draft. If you hear me struggling a little bit with my voice, I've been really, really working hard in the studio, perfecting my singing, and last night I didn't get out of the studio till like 4 o'clock in the morning. And so my voice is kind of worn, so you may not hear a rendition of one of music's classics today. And if that's the case, I apologize. I know that you look forward to hearing me sing on the show, so I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. I may not be able to sing today. I'm not saying it's 100%. I may dig down deep within my soul and give you a classic today. We'll see. You let me know what you think, man. I mean, if you really, 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 push me, I'll do it. But as of right now, probably not, because my voice is really struggling, man. I've been putting in real hard work in the studio, man, with this singing stuff. I mean, my whole goal is by the end of this year to be performing in New York City on Broadway or something like that. So, I mean, just know that. I'm not singing because I don't want to sing for you. I may not sing today because I just can't sing for you right now. All right. Thank you, Tree. We'll be back in a second, Tree. Hold that thought, Tree. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Free Fall Friday, man. Happy Friday, everybody out there. Be careful this weekend on them streets. Talking about the NBA draft and everything that went down last night. Let's quickly kind of like run through the top 5 picks from last night's NBA draft. But before I do that, man, in life, good and bad things happen, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband and a father, and protect that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. Did you know 95 million U.S. adults don't have insurance protection / life insurance in place. That's crazy, man. Protect your family. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, the number one independent financial services company in North America, Primerica, then call my guy Greg Wynn at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172. And make sure and tell him that the Doug Stewart Show told you to give him a call, all right? Excuse me. Man, really struggling with this voice today, man. And I'm going to have to decide on how much, this is the number one thing here that I do. I got to come to some type of understanding as far as how much time I'm going to put in the studio. I think I'm overdoing it right now as far as my singing career. Yes, Tree?
Let's take a break for like 2 weeks, for real. Let's take a break.
Wait a minute.
When you said this is the number one thing you're doing, you mean this sports talk, right?
Yes.
Okay, see?
Now, excuse me. Now, Tree.
Yes.
Hold on a second, Tree. Hold on a second. Do you take a 2-week break whenever in your singing career? Do you take a 2-week break? Huh?
I don't have other situations, and I also do things that don't hinder my vocal cords on a regular.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a page from your book, and I'm gonna rest probably today. Once again, unless I get enough requests for me to sing something today, then I'll probably not do it today because my voice is, as you can tell, I'm really struggling today. So we'll see, man. Let's talk about the NBA draft, though. Last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves, as expected, did take Karl Anthony Towns with the number one pick. They are loaded, man. You talk about obviously Andrew Wiggins and now Karl Anthony Towns. You throw in Zach LaVine in that conversation as well. The Anthony Bennett kid, I don't know what they're going to do with him. So they're absolutely stacked. You can't be mad at him. He might be a superstar. I don't know. The game is kind of changing right now, but he may end up being a superstar. So I think that was a great pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then my Los Angeles Lakers were on the board. And me, as well as everybody else in America, thought and kind of were led to believe, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that the Lakers would take Jahlil Okafor, and they did not. They took D'Angelo Russell, the point guard out of Ohio State. It seems like over the last couple of weeks, a lot of people were singing his praises, saying, that this kid has superstar ability. I've seen a lot of comparisons. I've seen a comparison of Jason Kidd. I've seen a comparison with a better shot. I've seen a comparison to John Wall, that type of athletic player as well. I've seen that type of comparison as well for the Moutier kid as well. But, yeah. I've seen Playmaker. This is a guy that's going to bring Showtime back to L.A. I just don't know, man. And I'm hoping, and you would have to think that Mitch Kupchak and the organization did their due diligence in taking D'Angelo Russell over Jahlil Okafor. But I'm just old school. I'm old school, and you build your team with a center. And I guess I got to get out of that mindset because you saw what the Golden State Warriors did this year. I'm kind of apprehensive. And then the back part about this deal is, as a Laker fan, and my thinking and everybody else's thinking as well, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if they didn't take Jahlil Okafor, then there's probably already a deal made behind closed doors to get DeMarcus Cousins. Now, that hasn't happened. As a matter of fact, Sacramento is saying profusely that they are not going to do that. The only person seemingly wanting to do that is George Karl, the head coach at Sacramento. But, I mean, you traditionally don't take or pass up on a big to take a small, I guess, for this conversation. And we'll see, man. And I guess we won't be able to tell for a couple of years. I just think the upside on Jahlil Okafor was just too much to pass up. You watch his skill set. Once again, we talked about all of this yesterday for the last couple of weeks, really. And I hope this didn't come back to bite us in the ass, man. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. We will see. But the Lakers take D'Angelo Russell. So it's going to be Russell and Kobe and Julius Randle right now. I'm thinking that they believe that they're going to get DeMarcus Cousins or they're going to get LaMarcus Aldridge. That's the only explanation. In my mind, that's the only explanation. If you're a Laker fan out there, what do you think about this move? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm scared, man. I am absolutely scared about this pick. I know. Even the kids don't like it. I'm absolutely scared about this pick. We will see. Time will tell. At number 3, the Philadelphia 76ers, they do take Jahlil Okafor. But the problem with that is they're taking a big guy 3 years in a row. Nerlens Noel, the Embiid kid from, where did he play? At Kansas, I believe. He has injury issues as well this past season. You take another big, okay? We'll see. And this may be why the Philadelphia 76ers have struggled over the last couple of years. Should they take a point guard right there? Should they have taken the Moutier kid right there? I don't know. Maybe they take the Porzingis kid right there. I don't think it would have been as much of a controversy if Philadelphia would have taken Porzingis as opposed to the Knicks. Just because they already do have those guys. They need wing players. They do need shooting. The things that it looks like this Porzingis kid can do very well. But because the New York Knicks at the number 4 pick, right behind Philadelphia, did take Porzingis, it is a huge, huge red flag. And now remember I said this too the other day, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Whoever the Knicks draft, they're probably going to end up sucking because that's what happens with New York Knicks players. If this kid would have went anywhere else, he probably would have ended up being a Hall of Famer. But because he goes to the Knicks and the shroud of horribleness of the New York Knicks, he's probably going to end up being and assimilating to that culture around there. Yes. And so the Knicks take him at the number 4 pick. And I've heard a lot of people say that he was the best player on the board. The Knicks had to do it. And then I have heard a lot of people just absolutely crush the New York Knicks for this pick. Your boy Stephen A. Smith is just killing him. And he's a native New Yorker. I guess he's been a Knicks fan his whole life. And he's absolutely killing it. And he's always got strong opinions. He is absolutely destroying Phil Jackson for this. And that's the big problem I got with Phil. And you remember when Phil, there was some talk about the Lakers bringing him back to coach again for another stint. And Phil was trying to pimp us. So he was trying to pimp us. He wanted this amount of money. We damn near had to give him stock in the team. He wanted this amount of money. He doesn't want to travel. Phil Jackson is pimping y'all, man. Phil Jackson ain't putting in the work y'all paying that dude. And then to make this pick, which everybody for the most part in the world thinks is at best going to be a good pick maybe in 3 years, is just absolutely incredible. And number 5, man, Mario Hezonja was picked by the Orlando Magic. At number 5, don't know anything about him. Really, I don't know if I pronounced his name even right just now. And the Sacramento Kings at number 6 took Willie Cauley-Stein. So what are your thoughts on the NBA draft, man? I got to talk about the Atlanta Hawks here in a second and what they did. What they did with their draft pick at number 15. They made a trade. We'll talk about that when we get back. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. NBA draft talk all day long today. When we get back, though, we'll quickly do some birthdays. I'll check and see what your thoughts are, your responses are to me singing a song for you today, wedding singer style, as well as we'll get into some of your chat, man. A lot of chat I see already, and people got real strong opinions about the NBA draft from last night. It's Sports Talk, Guy Talk with Hot Sauce. The Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number 1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, hey, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster, Doug, I see why you got kicked out of the Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rebel.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Free for all Friday. Thank you for joining your boy. Now see, here's a benefit to following your boy on Periscope. As I said earlier, I'm probably not going to sing today on the show. But what I did on Periscope is I gave the Scopers a preview of what I would sing today if I did sing. And, I mean, they absolutely loved it, man. They absolutely loved it. So, once again, I might still do it for you. We'll see. But, obviously, we're talking heavy NBA draft today. We've got your Boiled Penis Award we got to give out a little bit later. Your nominees are Mike and Mike Show from the Puppet Factory. Puff Daddy for fighting police, or fighting coaches, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about something else. Phil Jackson, the head coach of the New York Knicks, for making one of the riskiest drafts in the history of bad teams in the NBA. It's just unbelievable. And our very own Tree Taylor, who during the breaks, Tree has been kind of throwing some shade, man, about that whole singing thing. We're not going to even get into that, but so Tree's nominated as well, and you can actually go and vote. We have an actual live vote. We do have it up, right, Tree, don't we? Huh?
It's on the Facebook group page per your request.
Okay.
That be the place
Okay,
where
great,
they can
great.
vote.
You can actually go and vote and make your vote count on the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group page. And there's an actual poll there. And all I'm going to do is read the results a little bit later from the Boiled Penis Award, okay? So go to the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group page on Facebook. This segment is brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best of the world of entertainment, culture, and sports. So if you need tickets for anything in the world, anything in the world, check out my folks at Ticket Liquidator. Give them a call at 855-638-3034. Once again, that's 855-638-3034. And tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right. 404-382-0338. So the Atlanta Hawks made a deal last night with the 15th pick, a three-way trade. The Knicks, the Atlanta Hawks, and who was the third team that was involved in that? It was the Knicks, the Hawks, and the Washington Wizards. In effect, to make a long story short, the Hawks drafted this kid, Kelly Oubre. They traded him to the Washington Wizards. The New York Knicks, I guess, get their pick from the Wizards, and they draft Jerian Grant with the number 19 pick. And the Hawks end up getting Tim Hardaway Jr. What do y'all think about that if you're a Hawks fan? Tim Hardaway Jr., outside of his famous, daddy's surname, he really hadn't done a lot to me. I think he had a great year, like his rookie year, but his second year it seems like he regressed a little bit. His defense isn't that great. His shooting isn't that great. I don't know what Coach Bud and the organization have in mind with this pick. Obviously has a lot of talent. Came from a basketball background, obviously with his dad, as I just talked about, and Tim Hardaway Sr. I just don't know about this pick. Hopefully it's going to work out. Clearly, Coach Bud and the organization, I don't know. Once again, I just remembered we don't have Danny Ferry anymore. And I don't know if Danny Ferry, I would doubt he would have anything to do with this pick. It's all about Coach Bud right now, being the team president now as well as the head coach. I'm not sure about this. I don't know. If you're a Hawk fan, what do you think about this? At the 15th pick, I kind of like that Oubre kid. When they made the pick and, they kind of refreshed my memory on what he did as a player for the Kansas Jayhawks, I thought, you know what? He's long, he's athletic, and when he came up to the microphone, he kind of had a little cockiness, a little swagger to himself or whatever. I kind of liked the pick, and then they traded it away. So what are your thoughts if you're a Hawk fan about having Tim Hardaway Jr. Now a member of your squad? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. As I mentioned in the last segment, the number 6 pick, Willie Cauley-Stein, phenomenal athlete at 7'1", is going to Sacramento. When that happened, I kind of thought to myself, can he play center in the NBA? I don't know. I guess because he's so athletic, I kind of picture him as a power forward, but he's 7'1", he's 240 pounds. So when they made that deal, when they made that draft pick, I'm thinking, okay, this is, the domino effect, and we're going to get, and I say we, talking as a Laker fan, we're going to get DeMarcus Cousins out of this deal. And they're going to, they drafted Stein so high, he's going to go ahead and he's going to play center for them. They haven't come out and done that yet. There's no deal done or anything like that. As a matter of fact, once again, the organization in Sacramento was saying they are not going to trade DeMarcus Cousins. We will see. So that was kind of an interesting pick. Number 7, the Denver Nuggets take Emmanuel Mudiay. There's been a lot of conversation about who was the better point guard in this draft. You've heard them repeat over and over again that if Emmanuel Mudiay had gone to college here in the NBA or in college basketball here in this country and played to the level that everybody thought that he could when he came out of high school, that he was clearly the top player in the draft coming out last year, or would have come out this year. But because he went to China, he missed a ton of games because of injury. You really didn't get to see him a lot, kind of like his star dimmed a little bit. But he goes to Denver at number 7. Word is that Denver is probably going to try to trade Ty Lawson. George Karl, once again in Sacramento, says that, or word is that he wants to try to add him to the team there in Sacramento. So it's probably going to be some other things going down with the Denver Nuggets as well. Number 8, Stanley Johnson, the small forward out of Arizona, goes to the Detroit Pistons. Number 9, Frank Kaminsky, a little bit higher than most people had him on their board. The center from Wisconsin goes to Charlotte. I don't know. Now, once again, I think he might be a great player or he might be a bust. I think that his bust factor is big. We will see. Justin Winslow, a guy that slipped in most people's minds in the draft. He goes number 10 to the Miami Heat. I like that pick. The only thing about Winslow, I would say, is he doesn't have the ideal – I don't know. I guess could he be like a poor man's Dwayne Wade? They got him listed at 6'6", 222 pounds. Fantastic defensively. It looks like his game is good. Could, be fine-tuned a lot more. But is he kind of like, going to take Dwayne Wade's slot as far as relevance and importance on that team once Wade retires or doesn't sign back with the Miami Heat? I love the pick. I love the guy. I just don't know if he's going to be – and maybe this is the reason why he dropped to 10 is because there are some questions about his size. They got him listed at 6'6". I don't know. So he goes at number 10. Most people think that was a fantastic pick. So the Miami Heat get a solid player. They get a value guy at the position and where they picked in yesterday's NBA draft. 404-382-0338. When we get back from the break, what I'm going to do is read chat. That's all I'm going to do in the next segment. It'll be the third segment of the show on the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm going to read chat, get your thoughts on the NBA draft, and then we'll get into some of this other stuff today as well. What are your thoughts about what the Knicks did? What are your thoughts about what the Lakers did? What are your thoughts about what the Atlanta Hawks did? Whoever your team is, whether it's the Utah Jazz, the Charlotte Hornets, or whatever, Miami Heat, we can talk about it today on the Doug Stewart Show. All right? Still trying to decide whether I'm going to sing today or not. If you follow me on Periscope, you got a small sample of what I was thinking as far as my singing today. And it went okay. So the throat is okay to do it if I have to. But we'll see. We'll see. All right? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said this rhyme. The rhyme was deaf, but then it went this way. Thank you for joining me, boy, on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, I can't rap as good as I sing. So I'm going to get into some of your chat here in a second. This is a Free Fall Friday, obviously talking about the NBA draft. I'm also going to get into this Warren Sapp story. Is it too late to add... Tree, jump on for a second. Is it too late to add Warren Sapp?
Can a ninja go to the bathroom? You see me getting up. No, we cannot add Warren biting fingers.
If you haven't heard the story, Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp, that's $10 right there. I got to pay to the kitty. Warren Sapp allegedly had a fight with his old lady in Vegas. Where there was actually physical confrontation, allegedly from her. This is the same Warren Sapp that lost his job over 2 hookers. Allegedly, he stepped on her face. This is what she's saying. He stepped on her face, and then he bit her finger. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, can we do a write-in vote for Warren Sapp for the Boyle Peters Award today?
No problem, Ike. Let me get on that.
Yeah, I mean,
supposed to say thank you, Anna Mae.
Thank you, Anna Mae. Thank you. But I mean, Warren Sapp. You know what? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. When I was growing up, whenever something didn't make sense like this, when you put in all the variables about Warren Sapp, his brand, and he's a public figure, and some of the things that he's done over the last couple of months, going back to the hooker story, and then now with this. What my grandmother would say, it must be drugs. And I'm not saying that Warren Sapp is on drugs, but the only explanation is drugs. And I hope that's not the case. Once again, I'm not telling you that Warren Sapp is on drugs. What my grandmama used to say when I was growing up, when there was no explanation for some irrational behavior, she would blame it all on drugs. And not that Warren Sapp hadn't had issues with drugs in his day. So... I don't know. Wouldn't you think a dude like that, wouldn't you think a ninja would be under the radar as much as possible after him losing his job on TV for wrestling and arguing with some hookers? And then a couple of weeks later, he comes behind and does this thing, allegedly. And we don't know how much of the story is true from his girlfriend. But it's just a bad look, Warren Sapp. It's a bad look. And already from the rip, I'm not a Warren Sapp fan. Many, many years ago, when we were talking to everybody in the world on Radio Row as the Two Live Stews at the Super Bowl, like Warren Sapp gave us the gas face. Like he gave us the hand like Martin used to do on the Martin Show. And like, Ninja, you ain't all that. Right. I mean, everybody else in the world want to talk to the Stews. We had the greatest guest and interviews ever on Radio Row for many, many years. And you, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe Ryan was messing with one of your gals or something back in the day, and this man gave us the hand. So, and we've heard from many, many people in the industry that he's an a-hole, and I like to judge people on my own, and so he gave me the perfect opportunity to call him an a-hole myself. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Getting your thoughts on the NBA draft, obviously, from last night. We got the Boyle Penis Award coming up a little bit later. Stay tuned for that. And I doubt it, man. I am really struggling today with my voice. Been putting in too much time in the studio trying to perfect my craft of singing. So I doubt I'll sing today. Let me read some of your messages here from Liddell. Doug, drink some tea with lemon, then give your voice a break for a month. I can't give my voice a break for a month. I mean, that's too long. I mean, what would you do? If I gave my voice a break for a month, you're talking about a month going by where I don't sing? Is that what you really want, Liddell? That's not good. Eugene Jackson, word on the street, the Lakers would try to sign either Kevin Love, LaMarcus Aldridge, or DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, that's common knowledge out there. There's a bunch of great free agents out there. The problem is you'd probably have to do with some of these teams a sign and trade type thing, so you can get that 5 years. They can only sign 4 years with other teams outside of the team that they're playing for right now. We're talking about the free agents. So, Cleveland's the only one that can give Kevin Love a 5-year deal. DeAndre Jordan, the Clippers are the only team that can give him 5 years. And 1 year is 1 year. That's 1 year more security. There's a lot of other things in play as well. They got a new collective bargaining agreement deal that's going to come up where there's probably going to be a lot of new TV money involved as well. So some of these guys are thinking that they're only going to do a 1-year deal and wait for that to happen. So there's a lot in play here, man. But, yeah, Kevin Love, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan, they're all on the table. Once again, like I said yesterday, in order, I would rather have Cousins and then Aldridge, and then I'd rather have Kevin Love. Not really a fan of DeAndre Jordan, even though statistics-wise and what he does for a team, it's big. But I would rather have those other guys before I'd rather have DeAndre Jordan. From Keen9411, he says, BPA, the Knicks organization and crew. From Kim Jane, she says, sing, Doug. Wow. Wow, that means a lot. That means a lot, Kim Jane. All right, let me read a couple more messages like that, and I might have to do it, man. From Liddell, Phil always had 2 top 10 players on the team, so it didn't matter who you added around him, but to build around a Euro player is totally different. Yeah, in effect, if you taking this kid Porzingis at the spot you do last night, Carmelo's getting a little bit long in the tooth. I mean, the Porzingis kid, in effect, is the future. Yeah, and but the problem is they need some right now. They're so bad. And the media is going to kill this kid, man, if he just doesn't, turn out to be Dirk Nowitzki from day one. I mean, it's not going to be, how New York media is. They're going to kill him. And that's probably not a good thing, man. From Ronald Cameron, I know Tim Sr. is happy his son left the Knicks because he hates New York. From Eugene Jackson, BPA winner this week's hands down goes to Phil Jackson. Dat 12. Phil has always had a fascination with European players. Remember the Croatian cockroach, Tony Kukoc? I didn't know they call Tony Kukoc the Croatian cockroach. Is that a name that you called him? Maybe as a Bulls fan, Dat 12? From Detroit, Matt. Greetings from the great city of Detroit. Greetings, Detroit, Matt. Harvey Scott. Balling to Pat Riley. And my Heat busted to Phil Jackson. This is the reason I think Riley is better than Phil. Phil never built a team, and now that he has had his chance to prove everyone wrong, he does this ish. Laugh out loud. We're getting a lot of push for Phil Jackson to be the BPA today, man. We'll see. From Liddell, I wasn't happy with that Hardaway trade. I thought ATL was getting the guy from Notre Dame. Theron Grant, are you talking about the point guard now going to New York? From Scotty, rest your voice, Doug. Permanently. Let's move on from that one. Andre Elam, happy thanks. TJIF Stewies. From Grego, Russell said he's looking forward to learning as much as he can from Kobe, as much as he's willing to teach. A laugh out loud. Yeah, Kobe probably is not going to be, in the mood to try to teach you anything, you young whippersnapper. But being around Kobe's greatness probably will rub off a little bit. That ninja thanked the Lord for Doug's voice fatigue. Yes. The 47th problem. The Knicks unloaded Hardaway Jr. on the Hawks. How do you feel about the trade? Don't like the trade at all. Don't like the trade at all. Once again, though, Coach Budenholzer knows about a gazillion times more about basketball. Clearly, being the coach of the year last year in the NBA, maybe he knows something we don't. But from the outside looking in, I really, really love that Oubre kid. Let's be honest. I didn't watch a lot of Kansas basketball this year. This wasn't one of the greatest Kansas teams that we've seen in the past couple of years. So didn't see a lot of them. had read his name before, had looked at some highlights before the draft, and I thought he was okay. I thought for where the Hawks picked, I thought it was a good pick, and I liked it, and they gave the guy away. They gave the guy away to get Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know about that. From Stringer, you disagree with the free agent part because the ball stopper part is all true. I'm not exactly sure who he's talking about. From Bussa, Stephen A. Smith went off on Phil Jackson and the Knicks. Yes, he did. From Sluggo, wow, guess I'm different about the folks' preferences. Just don't force me to watch it on TV as if it's normal. Unsure about that as well. It doesn't attach to any message that I've read earlier. From D. Rivers, Lakers and Knicks, win or lose, everyone else is visiting. Niner for life. We quick to say Sapp wrong without knowing if she spit in his face, slapped him, tried to cut him. If she did nothing wrong, he's stupid, then prosecute him. Here's the problem with that Niner for life, and I generally agree with your statement. I always hate when people jump to conclusions as far as these athletes without getting any of the details. But in this particular case with Warren Sapp, if she did spit on him, and once again, there's two things that there's nothing worse than the two things you could do to a man. One is spit in his face, and the other is kick him in the ass. Like if a dude's like, standing up and you walk behind him and kick him in the ass, that's more humiliating probably than anything else in the history of the world. I remember when I was at South Carolina State, and this is no lie. This is a God's honest truth. We were at practice at South Carolina State, and you remember the name Robert Porcher. He was on the team at South Carolina State when I was there, and one of the defensive linemen was lollygagging and not running, and it was like at the end of the practice, and so if you didn't run the sprint right or whatever, they were going to make us run them again. And so this guy had been obviously lollygagging, and Porcher got behind him and started kicking him in the ass. This is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Now, this is a grown-ass man. This is a defensive lineman. I'm not going to even say his name. So this guy was, 6'3", 270 pounds. And this wasn't the funny thing. And very maliciously, Porcher got behind the guy and started kicking him in the ass and, dared him to get up and say something to him about it. The guy was, crab crawling or something like that. We were running sprints, crab crawling or something like that. And he started kicking the guy in the ass. So that's humiliating. I get it. But the point is, if you're Warren Sapp and what you've been through over the last couple of months and everything that you've lost, I think if some girl spits in your face, you probably got to wipe it off and walk away. You understand what I'm saying? If she had a knife trying to stab him or whatever, you probably just need to get away from her. You can't bite her finger. You can't step on her face. You have to get away from her. It's already bad enough. And you may not really recover from what happened a couple of months ago, but you can't add fuel to the fire and fight a chick. I mean, who does that? Which makes me believe, like my grandmother used to say, that maybe drugs are involved. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, because that just don't make sense, bruh. I hear what you're saying, but you can't get arrested for prostitution and then having some type of scuffle with a couple of hookers and then have another scuffle with your girlfriend a couple months later where you allegedly bite her damn finger and step on her face. It doesn't work like that. I feel you, but it doesn't work like that. All right, when we get back from the break, man, damn it, it's hour number 2 already. Yes. Shut up, kids. Sit down, be quiet. When we get back from the break, man, what I'm going to do is read more of your chat. We're going to talk more about the NBA draft. And also, man, the latest on Puff Daddy and that story coming out of UCLA and what happened with the strength coach. We'll talk about that. I'll take your phone calls, read your chat. The People Show, the Doug Stewart Show. And I might be able to get it done today singing. We'll see. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, What I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man, thank you so much for joining your boy. Really do appreciate it. Oh, man. So I've been getting, votes on Periscope, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I've been getting votes on Periscope on whether I should go ahead and sing today or not. And, I mean, overwhelmingly, I'm getting thumbs up, man. That boy can sing. The little emoji of a thumb up. So we'll see, man. I mean, I do it for the people, man. I mean, I don't do this. I don't sing just for me. I do it for the people. Let me get you some of these birthdays today. We haven't done that yet. Happy birthday to the great Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is 47 years old today. We were talking about the greatest tight ends of all time the other day. What was it for? Why were we talking? Oh, we were talking about Kellen Winslow. We were talking top 5 San Diego Chargers of all times, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And so I talked about Kellen Winslow and Tony Gonzalez. I think I even mentioned Ozzie Newsome. I totally forgot about Shannon Sharp. And I guess the reason why I always forget about Shannon Sharp whenever I talk about a tight end is because, to me, and if you remember, I remember when Shannon Sharp played, and I think it was the North-South game or whatever the college all-star game was at that time. He was a wide receiver at Savannah State. Okay, he was a wide receiver, and he put on a lot of pounds, but his pounds didn't look like tight end pounds. Like Shannon Sharp is what has always been ripped to shreds. So I guess maybe one of those type of mind trick thingies why I always forget to talk about Shannon Sharp. But definitely, I think before Tony Gonzalez or right after Tony Gonzalez, statistically, he's the second best tight end in the history of the game. Now, you got to remember the tight end position has changed a lot over the years. Tight ends have been featured a lot of times over the last couple of years. The passing game is much bigger. They throw the ball a gazillion times more than they did, during the era of Ozzie Newsome and Kellen Winslow. So Shannon Sharp's 47 today. Happy birthday to him. The great Derek Jeter is 41 years old today. Happy birthday to Derek Jeter. Whoa. MV7. Mike Vick turns 35 years old today. Happy birthday to Mike Vick. Dang, boy, I missed that fella. Not talking about anything off the field. I say this all the time on the Doug Stewart Show, and we used to say it all the time, man. You talk about electricity at the Georgia Dome for Mike Vick's years here in this city, man, and it was just a different atmosphere. It was a different vibe. It was a festival-like atmosphere every Sunday at the Georgia Dome, man. Every Sunday it was like a freaking carnival because you never knew what that dude was going to do on Sunday, man. So it was always exciting. He's 35 years old today. Iman Shumpert is 25 years old today. Happy birthday. Yeah, a ton of athletes born in June. On June 26th. More athletes. Deron Williams, 31 years old today. NBA point guard, Darren or Deron, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Raymond Felton, 31 years old today. Happy birthday to my homeboy, Raymond Felton. He's from South Carolina. J.J. Barrera is 31 years old today. Puerto Rican NBA point guard who helped the Dallas Mavericks to an NBA championship back in 2011. And who else we got here? Chad Pennington. The great Chad Pennington is 39 years old today as well. So happy birthday to all of them. Former quarterback for the Jets. Happy birthday to all of them from the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. So the coach who fought Puff Daddy, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the coach that fought Puff Daddy this week, allegedly, he brutally, this is the way TMZ is putting it, he brutally shamed Diddy's son by using a paparazzi pic to drive home a point that he thinks Justin Combs is a spoiled rich kid. You remember I told you that was probably part of what went down? Is that this coach and these people probably feel like that Justin Combs, because he's so rich, you know, he doesn't work hard, even though it might not even have been true. But people are just haters towards people with that have success. Sources connected to UCLA's football program tell TMZ that the humiliating incident went down in February. Coach Sal Alosi, the same dude that tripped the Miami Dolphins player a couple of years ago on the sideline, had several players in the gym for a training session, which Justin missed because he was at the NBA All-Star game. Now, the way the story kind of reads to me is this wasn't a mandatory, training session or anything like that. It sounds kind of like it was voluntary. And Justin's at the All-Star game with his old man. It said that Alosi openly mocked Justin by putting a pic of him at the game next to Diddy and Ben Stiller in the gym monitors. And they're told that he told the players, while you guys are training, this guy is sitting courtside with his dad. Said the pic remained up for 24 hours. As they reported, Diddy sources say that Alosi ran a campaign of psychological warfare against Combs for the past 3 years. Now, I don't know how much of it is true or not, but that story to me is very plausible because people hate. Okay, and if I'm Justin Combs, here, let me back up. Let me say this. And Tree, what's up? You got something to say?
I mean, hell yeah. He should have came for him.
Yes, sir.
You don't mess with my child because you...
Nah.
No, they didn't. This isn't made up. This is true.
I don't think this is made up. And if I had to guess, I would believe that this is true because, first of all, I know how people are.
Exactly.
And I know people like that, the strength coach, especially he's already shown his character in the past with that stunt that he pulled and tripping the player on the sideline. I can definitely see this being the case and this actually being what happened, okay? But let me say this. Let me back up for a second here, and this is kind of outside of the realm of this conversation a little bit. If I'm Justin Combs, I'm not playing no damn football anyway, first of all. So I don't know if he really emotionally is intact to what's going on in playing football because you got to believe that you out there running gases 2-a-days in the summertime in August, and you are in this weight room, and then in the back of your mind, my daddy is halfway to being a billionaire. I think Puffy's worth like $500 million. It's probably hard to focus. And then another thing as well, and I've always had this, I've had this conversation with several people over my lifetime, and I'll tell you about one of the particular instances here in a second, is why the hell are you even playing football anyway when your daddy is Puffy? Why don't you go and run the family business? I've never understood why people, they'll say that quote, I want to make my own way, as opposed to doing the family business. I mean, white people do it all the time. Let's just be honest about it. White people, they'll start a business, and then they'll get the sons to run it, and the sons, grandsons will run it, and they'll keep it in the family. I got one of my best friends in the world, my frat brother. I'm not going to call his name. His daddy owns a very successful funeral home in his hometown. And I always say to him, like, his dad is like J.R. Ewing to Dallas. All right, he's well known. I mean, he's the man. He could be the mayor if he wants. He owns the funeral home. You know, in most towns, if you own the funeral home, you kind of big, you hot cheese. And I was like, bruh. And he, he's very successful in his career, not to the degree of owning your own business. And I mean, hell, people always dying. I say, bro, why don't you just go and, run the family business? And I had a conversation with his dad, and his dad always talked about, he's got 3 sons. My boy's got 2 other brothers, and he's always talking about them coming and, being a part of the business. And actually, one of the sons does run the business. And I say to my friends, like, bro, why don't you just go and run the business? You the oldest. You first in line for the family, riches. He's like, bro, I just don't want to do it. I'm like, why? Why wouldn't you want to take on the family business? Puff Daddy is worth $500 million. Why is Justin out there running into people? It makes no sense. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, I understand he might love the sport and this, that, and the other. But in 2015, with all of this talk about concussions, I mean, he's 5'7", 140 pounds soaking wet. He's not going to play in the NFL. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I had that come to Jesus meeting with myself when I was in college. I had just torn my ACL and been rehabbing. And I was trying to make the decision on whether I was going to come back and play again. And I was drinking, and I was sitting around drinking some beers with the bros, and we were talking about it. I was like, man, it's hot out there. It's hot out there. Hell, I'm 5'10", I'm 175 pounds. I've already torn up my knee one time. Chances are I'm probably not going to play in the NFL. And at that moment, I said to the bros, let's go get a six-pack. I'm done. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
But this isn't but everyone's like commenting about how he can't play, and that is not that man's business. That man's business is to do the job that UCLA hired him to do.
Yes.
And
yes.
you do not put my child on. Almost said that. You don't put my child on display.
Right, I agree. And I'm
paying your check.
I kind of swayed away from the point about the coach a little bit. In this little side conversation about, I don't understand. And, he's young and he loves sports. I kind of get it. But why are you out there butting heads with dudes that are monsters, some of which who are going to play in the NFL, and you're a little dude, and your daddy is damn near a billionaire, halfway to being a billionaire? It doesn't make any sense at all. If I was, because from what I'm understanding, I'm not sure if he's been kicked off the team or whatever because of this incident or whatever. Maybe that's not the case, or he's been suspended or something to that effect. He's never going to be regarded in the same eye with the coaches on this team ever again. Okay, so he's already been there 3 years. He's already been blackballed in effect once again by this coach and the other coaches on the team. He's small. He's probably not going to play in the NFL. I'd say freak it. The hell with this. Puffy, son, why don't you come work for me? I'll start you off at about, $1 million a year. Oh, man, I'm taking that before you can even blink. This is just a horrible story, man. I do believe I do believe that this coach probably is just a hater and is just jealous. That's the old school term, just jealous of this kid. And I think he's probably at fault in this, man. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but that's the story coming out. And as we used to scoff at TMZ back in the day, TMZ is usually on it, especially this being in L.A. You know they got people on the street. You know they got ears to the street. And I believe this story 100% that this coach, in effect, was just jealous of this dude's daddy. And that's bad. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, what I'm going to do is read chat. That's all I'm going to do. And at some point, I'm going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons signing a huge free agent. Stay tuned to that. Obviously, we're going to continue to talk about the NBA draft. It feels like my voice is getting a little bit stronger. I might sing, and we got the Boyle Penis Award coming up. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a Free Fall Friday. Make sure you vote for the Boyle Penis Award on the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group page. On Facebook, we're going to go ahead and announce the Boyle Penis winner in the next segment, so stay tuned for that. So me and Tree were talking during the break about this Puffy story, this Justin Combs story, and she makes some very good points. I understand people being motivated, and when someone tells you you can't do something, you try to show them you can't. I just think at his age, kind of like the story I told about me when I had to come to grips with reality, the chances are I'm not going to play in the NFL. He's got to come to a reality. There's so many things stacked against him right now. He's a kid. He's not a kid anymore. I mean, so he's probably, 21, 22 years old? He's not a kid anymore. Clearly, people are jealous of him. The coaching staff that he's playing for there at UCLA is jealous of him. Whether that's one coach or not, that coach is going to assault him with everybody else on the staff. Okay, so they're going to look at him some type of way going forward. He's 5'7", 150 pounds. He hadn't really touched the field in 3 years, and his daddy's a billionaire. And you running around, or close to a billionaire, halfway to being a billionaire, and you running around with all this information we have about CTE, you running around, running into, fullbacks, dudes that were born to play football and crush people. I mean, how bad is it? How bad is it for you to take on the mantle as up and coming CEO of Bad Boy Records? How bad is that? And this is what I said to Tree, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. For the most part, I've been trying to get my daughters into doing this. Seriously, on a real. My oldest daughter is an English major. My daughter now is saying that she wants to go into not broadcasting, but something else tied into the broadcasting industry or whatever. Fathers, for the most part, and I said it earlier, and it was no disrespect, white people do it all the time. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They try to build a legacy to leave something for their kids when they're gone. Puffy has built a dynasty. He's built a dynasty. What's wrong? Why is it wrong for him to want his son to come and be a part of that and take it on for forever and ever after he's gone? I don't know, man.
Because that's his. Listen here. You're building a legacy.
Right.
I'm building a legacy.
Right.
But if Kayla and Cameron don't want to sing, don't want to go to law school, if they don't want to do nothing, I'm sad about it. But the reality is I've raised them to make choices. Yeah. And so we don't know, but maybe Justin wanted to make this choice.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
I wish that someone had given me some options.
Right.
Try this.
Well, let me ask you.
Try this. Then I wouldn't be old as hell trying to stop you from singing. And
what?
I would already have.
Wait a minute. How did my singing get in this conversation?
I'm sorry. Leave Justin alone.
Okay, let me
he needs to finish up though. And Jim Mora. I read a story for Yahoo yesterday.
But Tree, the point is he's not going to get on the field. He is a senior. This is his 4th year coming up, I believe. Yeah, he's already been there 3 years. He is not going to get on the field. And what it takes to play at that level is grueling. It's very demanding.
Shame on them for allowing him to get a scholarship or whatever. Someone said he's got a scholarship. Shame on Jim Mora, who now doesn't want to press. He says he does not want to press charges.
Well, it's not even right. He shouldn't press charges. They're not going to even, if he's not on that team, if he quits the team, they're going to take the scholarship. I mean, it's not like Puffy can't pay for college. You remember there was a big controversy about that when Justin did sign with UCLA. It's not like he can't pay for college anyway. I mean, whatever, man. Move on. I just think that this particular case, man, he's got to come to grips with reality, man. This is the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338 from Fail Pay was on Periscope before the show. Doug, I can see you in your soldier gear today. That black on black on black. You about to ride on somebody today or something? Nah, I got on the Doug Stewart Show show shirt today. And I think I might wear the show shirt every day unless it's Thursday, and then I'm going to wear a throwback jersey. I got 1 million of those from the throwback jersey era. From Niner for Life, I think the kid the Knicks got with Grant may fit. Yeah, the point guard from Notre Dame. He's a solid player, man. Very good player. Obviously coming from a basketball family in Harvey and Horace Grant. From Sluggo, you guys confident in your coach, Vince? Because everything else is set up for much success. And talking about Flip Saunders, I guess. Well, he is obviously talking about Flip Saunders. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, they're giving Flip Saunders something to work with there in Minnesota, for sure. From Stagger Lee, Warren Sapp deserves it today. Boyle Penis Award. Yeah, and I'm kind of mad that I forgot all about the Warren Sapp story. That really kind of broke yesterday, but I think we kind of got him in there as a write-in candidate for the Boyle Penis Award. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Ronald Cameron, Sapp allegedly bit his girl's finger and stomped her while wearing Nike flip-flops. From Busa, BPA to Warren Sapp. Authorities in Las Vegas have charged the Hall of Fame defensive lineman Warren Sapp with biting his girlfriend. We already talked about that. More of your chat here. From Fat Boy McCoon, Warren Sapp on crack. I'm not saying he is. What I'm saying is my grandmother would blame it on drugs. She would. I mean, when there's no plausible, reasonable explanation, my grandmother would blame it on drugs. That's all I'm saying. Miss Mocabella, the Warren Sapp needs help. Jersey Vern, I'm in this snitch looking for all the Knicks haters. Vern, hating on the Knicks is too easy. I mean, and it's not even hate if it's true. You know, if you just stating a fact, it's not hate. From Mitchell, I disagree, Doug. You rap better than you sing. Do more rapping, please. You know. Lydell, speaking of which, man, I'm feeling good. So I got a real special song, man, that's been on my heart. I heard it yesterday in the car, and so I might go with that today. We'll see, man. I'm really struggling with my voice, as you can tell, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Liddell, Hawks needed an aggressive guard that could score when Teague is out. Dennis still needs work. What? I'd rather Dennis Schroeder right now than I would the Hardaway Jr. kid. I'm serious. Dennis Schroeder has such a big upside, man. I love that kid. Dennis didn't help much when it came to scoring in the playoffs. Yeah, because he's young as hell. Maybe that's the reason why that he kind of fell off in the playoffs. He shot us out of one game. Chico the Alpha, but he's going to get better. That's the point, man. I love Dennis Schroeder, man. Chico the Alpha, yo, I caught the GJ Quick unsung. Didn't know homie was that talented. Y'all were right. I guess there was some type of conversation about DJ Quick in the chat room a couple of days ago. From Fatboy McCoon, I still don't get Larry Nance's comments about Kobe. Is he talking about when he plays in Denver, when he played in Denver? Yeah, and that's another thing. We haven't really talked about that at all today. The Lakers also, with their second pick, they draft Larry Nance Jr. out of Wyoming. Okay, let's be honest. We haven't seen a lot of Wyoming basketball, but I really, really love his first name, or his name, period. Larry Nance Jr., great size. I think they got him listed at like 6'9", 230 pounds. They says he's a great athlete. I mean, you question the competition that he played against in that conference. What's that, the WAC conference out there? But he comes from a tremendous bloodline. And Larry Nance Jr., so I'm kind of excited about that. Once again, don't know a lot about him. They say he has range. He can shoot the three. He's a good defender, kind of sort of like his old man was. His old man was a legendary player, so I was happy to see that. So what happened with the Larry Nance Jr. and Kobe tweet thing is back in 2012, I think it was, if I remember the story. I don't have the story in front of me. He had made a comment on Twitter. I guess the Lakers were going to play in Denver, and he, in effect, threw some shade. Larry Nance Jr. threw some shade on his Twitter account saying that he hopes Kobe doesn't rape anybody tonight because they were playing in Denver. And that was bootleg. That was bad to say. And now they're teammates. So, that's kind of awkward. And they said as soon as he was drafted by the Lakers, he went and deleted it off of his account. But I guess people took a screenshot or something like that. That screenshot is deadly. And somebody pulled it back out and saw the comments that he had made a couple of years ago. So clearly, he going to ask for some forgiveness from Vino, from the Black Mamba. He's going to have to do that. And we'll see. I hope it's a good player. Everybody seems to like the Lakers draft and what they did with the Russell kid and with Larry Nance Jr. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, when we get back from the break, more chat. And we'll also reveal today's and this week's Boiled Peanuts Award winner. Don't go away, the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I had been talking about red rice, frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is penis taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled penis and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Penis tastes better boiled.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to begin our study of the male erection. We are adults. Now, I want everybody together to go ahead and say, penis, penis, penis.
Penis tastes better. Penis tastes better. Penis tastes better boiled.
Come on, y'all, say it.
No, man. Peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts. P-E-A-N-U-T-S. Peanuts. Y'all know what the hell I was saying.
Come on, y'all, say it.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And time for that Boiled Peanuts Award. Thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I really do appreciate it. Wow. So we got a winner, man. We got a winner. So your nominees for the Boiled Peanuts Award this week are for Puff Daddy, take that. For Fighting the Coach, which we talked extensively about the last segment or so. He's your nominee. He's one of your nominees. Tree. For breathing. And Tree sets this thing up. I guess she's saying the reason she's nominated is just because she's alive, which is not the case. Tree, a lot of times you do things to put yourself in this position. So Tree was nominated. Mike and Mike for biting the Doug Stewart Show in my whole singing routine. I'm the original sports talk wedding singer. Stop biting. Phil Jackson with that pick last night for the New York Knicks and stealing money. Phil is a pimp. for pimping. And then Warren Sapp was added late for his biting his girlfriend and stomping on her face. So your Boiled Penis Award winner for this week on the Doug Stewart Show is... If you went to the page, you could see who actually won, but this is kind of like drama for people that didn't see. Phil Jackson wins it this week with 32% of the vote. Barely narrowly beating Mike and Mike for biting the Doug Stewart Show. If it was up to me, if this was the old way we used to do it where I just exclusively kind of got the feel from the listeners and I gave my thoughts as the last deciding factor, Mike and Mike would have won this thing. But Phil Jackson is deservingly the winner this week as well. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Have y'all heard this story about Herschel Walker, man? Head coach Dan Quinn, in answering a question at a Buckhead Business Associate meeting on Tuesday, was asked about some comments that Herschel Walker said a week ago that he could come back and play in the NFL right now at 52, or maybe he's even 53 right now. And listen, Herschel is ripped to death. I mean, he's unbelievable. I mean, he's an aberration as far as physically. Saying that he could come back and play for an NFL team right now and that he's considering doing it. Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Falcons, was asked about it, and Dan Quinn says yes, that he'd love to have Herschel come to training camp and see if he can make this team. Now, I don't know, and the way the story reads is he might have been being facetious, he might have been joking or whatever, but he's put it out there, and he actually hadn't come out and said that he couldn't, that he was joking, so he kind of left it out there. He says Herschel was one of his favorite players growing up, a lot of respect for him, and so, yeah, we'd love to have Herschel come into camp. Let me say this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Herschel Walker is a physical, he's a physical wonder. He is. But he can't come back and play no football right now. He could probably give you a series. The problem is making it from day to day in practice. He could give you a series, but he couldn't give you two-a-days. It doesn't work like that. It's just the recovery. And I'm speaking from personal life, my personal testimony. The recovery that we have now when you get older is just is eons different than what it was when you were in your 20s or your 30s, even your early 30s. So, yeah, he could go out there and probably give you a good solid quarter, and then he'd be done for 3 days. He wouldn't be able to practice. He wouldn't be able to do anything. So that's cool. That's cute. That would be some type of publicity stunt if they did do that. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be fun to see Herschel out there in a uniform. The man hadn't played football in, I think, like 17 years. It's crazy it's been that long. But, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Falcons talking about bringing in the great Herschel Walker. 404-382-0338. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
This is Quincy Oliveri.
Quincy, what up, nephew? How you doing?
I'm good. I want to talk about who won the BPA award.
Okay.
I believe Tree should have won the BPA.
Who should have won the BPA?
Tree.
You do? That's your auntie. Why you thought Tree should have won it?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, she should have won.
That's not good, Quincy, man.
I'm going to just go on record that if she doesn't win next week, I'm never donating again.
What? Wow, damn. Ooh. What's that all about, man? Damn, Tree. Even the kids want you to win the BPA. Damn. Hey, the voting has been done. The voting has already taken place, and Tree did not win the Boiled Penis Award this week. It's as simple as that. Let me read more of your chat here. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Who do we got here? From Star-Lord, the Eagles The Eagles will be starting Tim Tebow by week 6 because Bradford won't stay healthy and Mark Sanchez sucks ass. We'll see about that. Let me go ahead and grab another call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Oh, I second that emotion right there. The kid got
wait a minute.
Who
is this?
What you think it is, dog?
Oh, it's Vern.
My ears was popping this morning. And I know you was talking about me, so why don't you just tell me what you're saying?
Vern, I was talking about your Knicks. How do you like the pick last night from Phil Jackson, man?
Hey, man, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like both our picks, you know?
Vern, you do know that. Vern, you do know that the last 19 European players to get drafted in the draft lottery, not one has made an All-Star game. You do know that, so it's kind of a risky pick, right, Vern? You do know that, right?
But that's the past, Doug. That's the past. This is 2015 right here. You know what I'm saying? Things are moving on. You know what I'm saying? But you know what you could do for me? Turn your ass.
You turn your ass around. You try to get the draw on me. You fool? Are you fool? You must be fool. Turn. All I had to hear was the word turn. It was whoever was quickest to the draw. Whatever, Vern. Your team sucks. Your GM is stealing money. You got a second-year rookie head coach that sometimes last year looked like he was a fish out of water, and y'all hadn't won a championship since 1973. Y'all suck. Call up here with that craziness. Who we got here? Stringer. MJ, Kobe, or LeBron have been in a damn near every NBA Finals over the past 25 years. Didn't win, but at least we're in it. You need a superstar. From Fatboy McCoon, I still don't get Larry Nance's comments about Kobe. I think I already read that one. From John Fisher, I can't stand sand cheese. They're having a conversation about the Philadelphia Eagles. From Heat fan, the Heat got the steal of the draft, shorty. A lot of people are saying that. I'm not 100% sold on that pick. From 9-0 the Rhino, the Hardaway move doesn't make sense. Hawks already have 2 backup small guards on the bench. I guess the Hawks are collecting players to use in a trade later. Maybe that's what's going on with that Tim Hardaway Jr. pick or trade. From Scotty, I like the Miami pick, but Pat Riley is still a snake. Oh, Pat Riley has shown himself to be a snake. From Clay Davis's advisor, I think there's going to be a 3-team trade with Denver, Sacramento, and the Lakers. I'd love for that to happen. Miss Mocha Bella, 10th pick goes to Miami Heat, Justin Winslow. From Vince Wright, time for Minnesota to trade Rubio. Can't shoot, and he is a turnover machine. I don't know. Seems like a lot of people out here talk about Ricky Rubio out in Minnesota. They love him or they hate him. There's no in-between really with that guy. From Sluggo, NBA teams have got to stop drafting players from overseas just to stash them away. It takes away opportunity from college kids who are talented enough to play. Vince Wright, Power is on tomorrow. Yeah, Power does come on Saturday night. I got a real busy weekend. As I mentioned earlier, maybe I was telling this to the people on Periscope. So a very good friend of mine here in Atlanta, she's kind of a famous person. She is famous. She's got a little birthday party this weekend, going to that. And then my daughter, for like the 3rd week in a row, got another track meet tomorrow. Lord have mercy. She's doing great. But, hey, man, really sit down and think about it before you decide to put your kid in track and field. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because it is a drain. It is a huge drain on your life, on your lifestyle. It just is, man. And once again, if I don't see any talent, if I didn't see any talent in this child, just like I was telling you about them kids that out there playing football, but they really don't want to play football. If I didn't see any talent in this child, she'd be taking violin lessons by now. That's word to my mother. Yes, sir. All right, we get back from the break, man. I'll read more chat, and we'll wrap up today's show on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
This is a remix. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Free for All Friday. Shouts out to all of the Stewies, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Without no you, there would be no me. Yes! Yes, sir. Thank you very much, man. Pass the word and tell people about the show. I really do appreciate it. I mean, who else has more fun than us on the Doug Stewart Show? Nobody. And that's definitive. Nobody has more fun than us on the Doug Stewart Show. Let me run through the rest of the first round and some names of some prominent people in last night's NBA draft. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The Boston Celtics took our own R.J. Hunter right here from Georgia State. That's the first drafted player out of Georgia State in the history of that program. Congratulations to R.J., sharpshooter. Skinny as a rail, but he'll shoot it from half court. So congratulations to him. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, somebody reminded me Larry Nance Jr. Was drafted number 27 by the Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations to him. Tyus Jones, hero from the NCAA champion Duke Blue Devils, was drafted number 24 by the Cleveland Cavaliers. His rights were traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves as well in last night's draft. Who else we got here of significance? Jerry and Grant, we mentioned him a little bit earlier. Rights were traded to New York via Atlanta. The point guard from Notre Dame was drafted by the Washington Wizards, but ultimately ended up in New York. And who else? We have Sam Decker was taken number 18 by the Houston Rockets, picked from New Orleans. And Cameron Payne, one other player, the kid from Murray State. Everybody's comparing him to like the steal of the draft. He could be a guy people project to be kind of like Damian Lillard, that played at a small school and ended up going and playing fantastic at the next level in the NBA. Devin Booker as well was taken number 13 by the Phoenix Suns. Trey Lyles, two Kentucky players, Booker and Lyles. Trey Lyles was taken by the Utah Jazz at number 12. Miles Turner at number 11. 11, the center from Texas. And we mentioned earlier about Justice Winslow going number 10 to the Miami Heat. Yeah. Love the draft, man. I cut the yard yesterday evening at my house and was done in time to take a quick little shower and just sit up in front of the TV and watch the draft. I really love the drafts, man. I love the NBA draft, the NFL draft, because it's kind of like a time where you have hope as a fan. Not so much if you're a New York Knicks fan, but most other teams, they have real hope after the draft, man, that, you know, maybe our fortunes are going to change and we're going to start to go in a good direction and things are going to get better. You know, even if you're a good team, even if you're a team like the New England Patriots or whatever, or you know, the Golden State Warriors, you might get a diamond in the rough type player. And so the draft is always a great time, man, for a fan. And so that was real cool. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug, Vince Wright.
Vince!
Great state of Minnesota.
Vince, what's up, baby? How you doing? Congratulations on y'all draft last night, man.
Oh, man. Feeling good, Douglas. Feeling good up here.
Hey, Vince, you gotta feel a real sense of optimism, huh?
Yeah, finally, Doug. It's all kind of coming together. So now we just got to see what Flip can really do on the coaching scene. And, you know, I think we're going to be all right. Now and, you know, long as we can convince people to stay, too, after these contracts are up. So hopefully they can start winning quick, sir.
Yeah. Hey, quick question before you get to your point. What's the word about Kevin Garnett? Is he going to retire or is he set to come back?
Set to come back for next year. And then him, Flip, and whoever else they get, they're putting together a new ownership group to buy the team from Glenn Taylor up here.
Okay.
So look for Kevin to finish out. He'll kind of get, you know, his last hurrah tour around the league. And, he's going to get into ownership. Okay, cool. What else you got for me, man? I just wanted to make sure Vern was okay, man. You got the quick draw on my boy there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to call, make sure he was all right.
I saw him reaching. I saw him reaching, man, and then he just wasn't quick enough. He's going to get you next time. But, no, I was just calling to wish everybody in the Sioux Nation some Minnesota love. We're very happy up here. Unfortunately, the Twins are coming back to reality, but we're excited for next football season, too, especially with AP back in the mix. That's what's up, man. Vince, have a good weekend, brother.
All right, take it easy, Doug.
There he is, my man Vince from Minnesota. Man, you got to feel real good if you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. I mean, I almost kind of put them in a different category as of a bad team historically because, you know, they were a new franchise and they just never really hit their stride. But I always think it's good to have parity and for the bad teams to be good at some point, man. So I'm happy for Minnesota, man. They got a great nucleus. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, skill-wise, is going to be very comparable, I think, to DeMarcus Cousins, and he's got a much better attitude, quote-unquote attitude. And then you've got the Rookie of the Year and Andrew Wiggins, and, you know, some people still like Rubio. So, yeah, things are looking up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Garnett's going to stay there for another year from what Vince says and tutor those youngins and then be in management after this season. So, yeah, things are looking real good for those guys. This is the Doug Stewart Show from Miele Kev. I guess he's a new Stewie. Thank you for joining me in the chat room, Miele. Hey, Doug, can you bless us with some Lou Rawls one day? Wow.
Hell no.
Is Lou Rawls You'll Never Find?
Oh.
Is that Lou Rawls?
That's my song. Don't do that.
Wow, man, Lou Rawls. I got to take it to another level to do Lou Rawls. Let me think about that. From Gerald. Doug, answer that phone I'm trying to call. I'm sorry. I guess that was Gerald's son, or that was Gerald's son that called earlier. From Vince Wright. I tried calling in. Maybe next week. Oh, man, so you did. I'm reading some old chat, it looks like. From James Cooper. Actually, Rick Neuhauser gave Puffy's kid the scholarship, not Jim Moore Jr. Agree with Doug that justice just should move on. It's just a very toxic situation around there. And if you played sports, and I mentioned this earlier, but if you played sports, you've been around a locker room, and you know how these things work, the coaches are very tight. I mean, they damn near a husband and wife. So they spend a lot of times with each other. And the situation is so toxic for Justin Combs there right now. You know good and well they bad-mouthing him in the meeting rooms. So it's just not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to get worse. There's already that talk out there, like my man James Cooper just said. Rick Neuhauser has come on record kind of saying the only reason they offered him a scholarship was because of his daddy. I don't know, man. I love the sport too. I hated when I wasn't playing anymore. But I mean, you got to move on, kid. You ain't hurting for nothing. Why are you out there in 200-degree weather anyway? Butting heads with animals would kill us. From James Cooper. Actually, Rick Neuhauser gave Puffy's kid the scholarship. I already read that. From Stagger Lee. Michael Sam has a better chance of getting some newtsy than Justin Combs getting on the field. Yeah. That's put very precisely, Stagger Lee. Yeah, Justin ain't getting on no damn field. And maybe I'm not going to say that. From Corporate Brother, I bet you that coach won't try that issue with Snoop and his son. Well, Snoop's son can play. Snoop's son played at a school that played like the highest level of football in the state of Nevada or whatever. The team that Snoop's son played for, they used to travel to play some of the higher-ranked teams in the country. And he looked good. I mean, you can tell Snoop kid belongs. It's not a situation like Justin coming from New York, playing against probably lower-level talent. Nah, Snoop's game, I think, is going to translate to the next level. From Miss Mocha Bella, Justin, get your degree and move on. I agree with that. From Scotty, look it up. Truth. Rick Neuhauser admitted he gave Justin a scholarship because his dad was famous and it would help recruiting. And I don't understand that. Why would having Justin Combs on your team help recruiting? I don't get that tie-in. Is it that maybe because Puffy will come and watch the games and you can get your boys as another recruit to hand him a mixtape or something like that? Now, I don't get the connection in the stands. From Thorny Switch, Scotty, I heard that too, but that still doesn't mean he's not working hard. His talent might be limited, but UCLA gave him that scholarship. Yeah, they gave him the scholarship. So at that point, whatever feelings you got about the kid, he's part of your family. He's part of your team. So that type of attitude from that coach, man, is not warranted. I mean, that's out of pocket. It's out of pocket. Yeah, it's probably been something going on behind the scenes of why he got the scholarship. Clearly, from standpoint of as far as he looks on paper, no, he doesn't look like a traditional UCLA cornerback. But he's there now. You got to be an adult. I mean, that's very childish for you to be picking at this kid because you're jealous of what his daddy has. I just think that's bootleg as hell. From Stagger Lee, Tree sound like somebody's mama. Oh, yeah, because she is somebody's mama. From Nino the Rhino, Doug sounding like Dr. Claude Anderson. I don't know who the hell that is. From KC, I bet 90% of the UCLA players believe they're going to play pro ball. Let the kid live his life. He can always go into the family business. That's true. He can always go into the family business later. I just think now because of the situation is very toxic, and in effect, he's wasting his time. Okay, and if he were to leave UCLA, this is the other part of it I didn't mention earlier, he knows that it's very toxic for him right now. If he were to leave and go to another D1 school, he has to sit out a year. He's already been there 3 years. It's over. If Justin were listening right now, if Justin Combs were listening right now, it's like, boy, you know it's over, right? Go ahead, take an intern position with your old man's company, start up from the bottom and work your way up and get paid, I don't know, $1 million or $2 million a year salary and keep it moving. It's a wrap. Chico the Alpha. I'm jealous. The truth. Everybody says he didn't work hard. How do we know that? Yeah, the only people we're hearing he didn't work hard from is the coaches. Okay, when I start hearing, because the story that TMZ reported about was allegedly from one of their inside sources, it seemed like talking to another player. You know, until I see a lot of reports and I see people out there on TMZ, former players or players on this UCLA team right now, saying that Justin Combs was just living off his daddy's name and he didn't work hard. Until I see that, I'm believing the coach was hating. It's as simple as that. Because that makes sense to me. That makes more sense to me than anything else. And you know, this kid probably has been hearing this kind of under the surface since he's been there. So a kid like that probably is going to work harder than everybody else because he wants to, once again, like y'all said earlier, prove everybody wrong. So that just doesn't add up to me. That just doesn't add up to me, man. From Scotty, because his dad stepped into a fight to fight his battle with the coach, his teammates won't respect him, even if what he did was justified. He will always be looked at as a rich kid who didn't work as hard as the other players on the team. Sadly, that's probably true. Hey, man, thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Man, we had a lot of fun today. I mean, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? I know I could have taken it even a notch higher if I would have sung for you today. You know, I wasn't able to do that, but I got to rest the voice. But trust me, on Monday, I will be refreshed and ready to sing. Yes, sir. I got a tune already in my mind. If you saw me on Periscope, I kind of gave y'all a couple of bars. But I'm going to save it for Monday, man. I promise you I'll be back on Monday. Hey, thank you to everybody that made today's show possible. Shouts out to the Tree of Life, the producer to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you, Tree. Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri. Had your son call up here and trying to give Tree the BPA. Come on now, we a family. So thank y'all, man. And a special shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room. Thank you, I never knew. Be careful on them streets this weekend. Track Dad doing the Track Dad thing again tomorrow morning. All right, we'll do it again on Monday. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.